Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to remote learning. Boys and girls, this is third week and we are going to start with the second lesson of remote learning during this week. Before I start with the discussion, just keep your copies, books and stationery items with you so that you may revise and reinforce, and along with that you may do your homework for today. Boys and girls, we have already started our chapter Democracy and Human Rights, and here is page number 132 of it. Before I start, I would like to revise the concept of democracy with you. Democracy is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And during a democracy, the situation is much different than the war-like situations. People have to cast a vote. People can select the person of their own choice. They may oppose the rules which are made by the government, and similarly they can even fight for their rights. During the democratic situations, people are usually free from any other burdens, and the society is peaceful, and law and order are are done are implemented or done in a good way. So democracy is the indication of a civilized society. Now, in a democratic country or civilization, the humanitarian organizations, they are working as well along with the government. For example, within the Pakistan, there are many organizations which are working for the welfare of the country. Such situations are or such you can say disasters may come within the democratic government, which may need the help of welfare foundations, and they may work in the different areas of the country. For example, the flood, the drought conditions, the natural disasters like the earthquake, and so many other reasons could be there, in which a democratic government may also need the help of the welfare organizations. So in democracy, the welfare organizations also, they can play well according to their role, and they can perform with the help of government side by side. We talked about different situations in which the country may be under the condition which is called as the uh, warlike situation, or it might be under some rule which is unjust. So these welfare organization may also help the people and the nation to come out of it. Sometimes it is very difficult for a democratic government to impose the law and to establish the peace in some conditions where the law and order is difficult to be controlled. At that time, the other organizations may help the government as well to help the supremacy of law. We talked about different personalities, like we talked about the persons who fight for the human rights. And here is another example of Mr. Yasser Arafat, who was the Palestinian guerrilla leader, politician, and statesman as well. He was trained in Cairo and he was engineer by profession, and he was working in Kuwait. He established an organization which was PLO, Palestinian Liberation Front or organization, and they resist all those acts which were imposed by the Israelis in their own land. So in 19 in he worked until his death. He spoke many times during his life to the United Nations and its people in order to have the peace in the society of and the land which is the land of Palestinian people. And he was the person who set foot on the beginning of the Palestinian state. In December 1994, Arafat and Rabin were awarded the Nobel Prize for their efforts Today, the humanitarian issues are also the complex and the vast and increasingly difficult for a single person to do much. But the Yasser Arafat will be known, and he will be known by the difficult time that he spent and the work whatever he's done for his people in order to have peace and law and order situation within the region. So he died on November 11, 2004. He did not live to see his struggle to be bear the fruit. And because of his efforts, and today the situation could be better when if he was living for a longer time. And people of Palestine, they had the expectation from him, just like the Nelson Mandela. So basically it is the agencies or which are responsible for the agitation of the problem, and this situation is prevailing up till now. Nowadays there are different United Nations agencies who are concerned with the humanitarian issues. We talked about them. And the Israel and its acts are still not liked by the people of Palestine, but one day will come when they will get the fruit of their efforts. So this was about the Yasser Arafat and his efforts that he done for his nation. Now today's written work is here for you, boys and girls, and this is not related with the Yasser Arafat, but again it is related with something which is related with the democracy and the human rights. So let's have a view on it. So our question for today is, write some of the conditions for a democracy to flourish. So answer is, some of the conditions for democracy to flourish are: number one, stability. There must be no division among the people on the basis of ethnic, racial, and religious beliefs. It may harm the democracy. Number two, class difference. There should be no class difference between the people, that is, rich or poor. Number three, the education. Education is of prime importance. People should be educated because educated people, they can know their rights and duties very well. It is essential for real democracy. Now the another important point is that is very important for democracy, that is exercise of democratic rights. It is very important. It might be done through voting. People must be able to cast a vote for, and they must be responsible for the exercising of the democratic rights through voting. Boys and girls, that is all for today's written work. And go to the chapter. This is very important, and this will help you to learn more about the situation of world, where is the war like situation, where the situations are better, and what is the role of United Nation and welfare organization in the different areas of the world. So do the written work and submit it timely in the Google Classroom. We will soon see each other, inshallah. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.